time for Common Man. Common Man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello.
And Peyton Manning takes the knee for the third straight time, and that should do it, folks. The final score of Super Bowl 41, the Colts 29, the Bears 17, and look at the pandemonium from the Indianapolis sideline down here in Miami. Colts spilling onto the field. Oh, and there we go, the Gatorade bath for Coach Tony Dungy, and it's Mike Doss applying the Gatorade bath. Good to hear from Mike Doss tonight as the Colts are your Super Bowl 41 champions.
Yes, Vikings ball. Let's play.
Tampa Bay.
Let's play. Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about...
Sick of it, man. I really am. I'm fed up with all the crap that I hear. I think it's bandwagon. I really do, man. These guys lay it on the line. These guys are in the training room, man. Guys lay it on the line, man. They lay it on the line. Sometimes it doesn't happen.
Good riddance. I'm going to make him an offer, Kevin.
He's already heard.
Timberwolves superfan KFAN Stan Barrero.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes, I do.
I'm always hesitant to believe what I read. You know what I mean? I think that still it comes down to society. Many times people are forced to believe what they read, and many times what you read might or may not be true.
All the defensive backs covering are just atrocious today for the Minnesota Vikings.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
And if I'm supposed to be somebody else, why do I look like me? Greetings, good afternoon, Ack, Dak, to you and yours. I'm Common, it's 10 to be here till 3. Lil B, feminine touch the program. And then program password coming your way at 1:30. Brett Blakemore was in the producer's chair today. Nordo hosting, and Alec Lewis was in with Nordo. So at that point, I felt it was okay to go in and chat with Brett Blakemore because his contributions on the air at that point I think are fairly minimal, right? Because they're doing the back and forth conversation. And Olympics were on. Did they do the opening ceremonies last night, or is that tonight?
That's tonight.
Tonight. But they
always kind of start before the opening ceremonies, which makes no sense to me.
They started, I think, with curling yesterday. There's also curling today. And now I look up and it's they're doing snowboarding. But is this like highlights of others? Because it's dark for some reason. Why is it nighttime? I don't understand that. It's weird. Unless they're doing it.
Must be tape delayed from last night or something.
It must be tape delayed. But, I'm a wet blanket. I looked at Blakemore and I said, I don't know what it is, but I just can't get that excited about the Olympic Games. I don't know why. I guess I guess for me, I don't know what it is. I mean,
it might just be the fact that the events in the Winter Olympics just aren't as good as the summer.
Well, and even summer, I don't get that fired up for. I guess the idea, for me, and this is where I guess I think maybe I have deep-seated psychological issues that I just can't get to the bottom to. But, like the pole vault, at the end of the day, I just don't care which person can run down the track with a big, huge stick in their hand, a bamboo pole, stick it in the ground, and then go up in the air and get over jump higher than. Because as I've talked about before, that skill set gets you nothing in real life. Once the Olympics are over, it's like, well, then what? I mean, the only way you could use it is if, like, you were in prison and you wanted to pole vault over the prison wall and the barbed wire. Then that would be really good if you were really good. Otherwise, what else can you use pole vaulting for? Because one person during a 2-week stretch of time, I don't know, they probably have, quarterfinals, semifinals, people get eliminated, heats or whatever they are. And it's like, okay, so they win. And Blake Morris said, well, I'm kind of with you on that. He goes, except for hockey, of course.
Yeah.
And I said, well, couldn't they just really, if we were being honest, couldn't they just say Czechoslovakia? Does Czechoslovakia even exist anymore? Is that not
Czech
a country?
Republic and then there's Slovakia.
Okay, Slovakia. I don't even know what European countries are around anymore. Because it seems like they change their names or they merge or they get overtaken by an invader. I don't know. It's something different all the time. But shouldn't they just tell Slovakia and the Czech Republic and Sweden, just stay home? There's no need. Because it's going to be the United States and Canada in the gold medal game. One's going to win the gold, one's going to win the silver, right? I mean, let's be honest. I know.
Well, for women, that's a slam dunk. For men, there's a little more competition there. But on paper, those are the two best teams.
Yeah. And then he said,
but hockey's not played on paper.
No, of course not. If you want to hit the bet, I'll give you the field and I'll take the United States and Canada to be in the bet. I'll say it's United States and Canada in the gold medal game, and you can have the rest of the field. And I'd bet you some frankincense and myrrh, or maybe we could bet silver and gold. You don't get it because the medals are silver and gold. Well, and then I said to him, I said, I mean, if the United
I would take that bet, by the way.
Would you really?
Well, you never know if the two teams get aligned and have to play each other in the semis.
Oh, well,
so
yeah,
they
then
wouldn't
forget
get there.
Oh, well, forget it then. Yeah, I didn't know.
It becomes a one-game thing where it just takes one team to run into a hot goalie. So I probably would.
Well, because
take the other side.
Well, but if they meet in the bracket, then my bet would be dumb. I thought it would be lined up where you would have.
If they both take first in their pool, then that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
So one of them would have to.
Oh, well, let's forget it. I just think just trust me that if they're on opposite ends, those are the two one of them is going to win the gold. One of those two teams is going to win the gold medal anyway. So then I asked him. I said, if the United States lost, would you be devastated? He goes, yeah, he would be unhappy. I said, would you blubber? Would you cry? And he said, depending upon how it happened, maybe. And you're into hockey. Would you, if the United States lost, like in quadruple overtime to Canada, would you shed a tear? Do you think? Do you think you might actually tear up? I'm not saying full out cry. What do they call it? Heave cry?
Yeah.
Where you're just, and the tears are just running. But would you get misty and maybe tear up a little bit?
I am a sensitive new age guy.
Yeah.
I'm emotional.
Right.
I do blubber.
Okay.
Other adult teams, no. I might get emotional with teams I coach.
Yeah, right.
With kids I'm connected with. But no, I can't. I don't think I've ever cried from a professional sporting event during Olympics. Yeah, I would cry if watching the 1980 Miracle documentary last night, right? And
did you tear up?
I got a little emotional, yeah.
So you had it. I
wouldn't say there were tears coming down my face, but the eyes were watery.
They were okay. Sort of when I watch Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2.
And my boys think it's so funny when I start getting emotional. They have to look at me while it's happening.
Well, they're probably like me going, why are you getting this? Now, and again,
why are you crying about Jim Craig talking about his relationship with his dad because his mom had died and he was depressed at the time.
And why am I crying? Because in Kung Fu Panda, Shifu says, yeah, what is that old? I'd never heard it before until the cartoon. Yesterday is a gift and today is a present, or is a gift because it's the present, or there's some saying like that about the gift. And I blubbered. And when Shifu dies, when all of a sudden all the flowers on the tree start to go away and swirl away, and it's Shifu dying. Oh, I cry. I got misty, but over a hockey game, I can't do it.
No.
And then he said, a lot of it just, because of his patriotic pride, and not as patriotic as the next guy, but sometimes I think that's a little overblown. It's like, okay, because you know what, to me, I think the world is a village myself. I think we're all one human being. So and then there's something like, would it be wrong if the Jamaican bobsled team got into the gold medal round and I said, I'd like to see the Jamaicans win the gold medal rather than,
I can see that.
The United States. Would that be terrible for me to say? Is that wrong? Now, I don't think we're going to have to worry about that because didn't the Jamaican bobsled team, isn't there a movie or a documentary on that or something?
Yes. Cool Runnings. I'm sure it's like 30 plus years old at this point.
Okay. Do they have a bobsled team this year? Do we know? Do we have any indication?
Don't know.
Now, if we're at war with Jamaica, I want to win. I think it's better if we win. But I don't think we'd want to get in a war with Jamaica. I don't think we have. I don't know if we have anything against Jamaica. Because Jamaica, I know the weather's pretty much always nice there. I do know that. So I've never been there. So let's do this. Let's take a break. It's a fast-paced, action-packed Common Man program today. If anything major happens, I don't know if we're even going to be doing much results-oriented stuff on the Olympics because, deep down, let's say they finished the snowboarding and they awarded a medal today. Would anybody go, "What? Don't say anything"? I wanted to watch the snowboarding on DVR. I don't think anybody's going to do that. Maybe hockey, but maybe I don't think DVR or snowboarding. And they're nuts, by the way.
They are extremely nuts.
And it is the kind of thing where I watch it once, and the first time I go, "Whoa!" And the next time I go, "Huh?" And then the third time, by the time I see it the third time, it's hold on, I got to have this sound effect for it. By the third time, it's like, okay. We'll break. We'll come back. Peek at the purple. Don't forget Little B, Feminine Touch, 1 o'clock, and so much more. Common Man program on the Fan.
That one teacher who believed in us. Show your gratitude with Thank a Teacher, powered by Donor Shoes. Nominate a public school teacher to win $5,000 for their classroom. This week, we want to give a shout out to Elizabeth Schultz, who's a special education teacher at Valley View Elementary School. Nominate a teacher to thank today at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Couple 13-14 pastime comedies tend to be.
By the way, I forgot to do the keyword last segment. If I could do that quickly.
Sure, absolutely.
The Fan wants to give you a shot to win bonus bucks with our national cash contest. Enter the keyword bonus at KFAN.com now for a shot of winning.
Bonus.
The keyword is bonus. Enter now at KFAN.com.
Bonus bucks, keyword bonus. Easy to remember. And not BONNES.
No, not like John Bonus.
It's BO. Though if in program password today, the password is BONUS, I might say John.
Or say Otani, and we'd probably know.
Hey-o. I think, would you cry if pickle juice touched your hamburger bun?
Yes. 100%.
Figured as much. Someone said...
it's more of an angry cry, though.
Yeah, well, I get that. A peek at the purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. All this month of February, Affordable Electric is offering free electrical evaluations all month long, from new lighting and electrical upgrades to repairs and remodels. They do it all. Call today or go to their website. Schedule your free estimate. Make sure, this is important. This is free. So call today and schedule your free estimate. Be sure to mention you heard us on KFAN. Affordable Electric. Quality work, honest pricing, safety you can trust. Affordable 612-331-VOLT or affordable-electric.com. affordable-electric.com. And affordable electric is shockingly affordable. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey-oh. Not a lot going on in Vikingville right now, but I did see where Kevin Williams did not get through the Hall of Fame thing. It was his first opportunity. Headline: Mark Craig, Fish Wrap Factory West Side. Mark is football writer. I think he's also has a vote in the Hall of Fame. Headline: Vikings Kevin Williams falls quickly in first swing as a finalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Hall voters had long discussions about each candidate, but Williams faced long odds to get in. Next year won't be any easier, it says. 5-time first-team All-Pro defensive tackle with the Vikings didn't survive the first cut when the selection committee, which includes this reporter, this is Craig, I'm reading from his story, trimmed the field of modern-era finalists from 15 to 10. Drew Brees got in, Larry Fitzgerald Jr., who else? Do you remember? I just
remember
the story.
Adam Vinatieri.
Okay. Kicker extraordinaire.
He's like a defensive player.
Luke
Kuechly.
Is it Kuechly? Is that how you say it? And Roger. Did Roger Craig make it?
Yes.
Roger Craig played with the Minnesota Vikings. He had his best days, though, I think, with San Francisco. 5-time first-team All-Pro. That's pretty good stuff. I mean, that means you had a great career. So, it's one of those things. I don't know what. Craig kind of gave us a little peek behind the curtain about a week ago, writing about the whole Hall of Fame thing. And I think he said it was like, was it 8 hours to discuss all the people? I thought it was like 8 hours just to discuss one player, or 7 hours. It was just this long, people bantering back and forth and the pros and the cons, and it's quite it's the word I'm looking for. It's quite the process, right? I mean, to vote and remind me, Timmy. Let me know if you're aware of this. I should know this. Because I just read these stories, but. Is it just those 50 media members? Do former players have any say in this?
I think it's just the 50 media members.
And, and again, look, and I guess I'm loosely, I guess I could be called a media member. I work for a media outlet. A radio station's considered a media outlet, and I work, and I don't go to games, and I don't do this or that or anything like that. I don't vote. They don't give me a vote, and they shouldn't. But I sometimes wonder if players should actually, nothing against the guys like the Mark Craigs of the world. He's been covering football for 30 some years or more, and he watches a lot of football, talks to people. He's plugged in, and he's certainly. But I've always wondered if it should just be, shouldn't the players be the one? But then this becomes a popularity. It's why the whole I don't want to run down that rabbit hole again about why Hall of Fames I think are kind of overrated, because it's like who's really to declare who is a Hall of Famer and who's not. But Kevin Williams. Just by being a 5-time first-team All-Pro. I mean, that's not pro, but that's All-Pro. That means you're the best at your position, right? That's pretty heady stuff. And whether he gets another... Well,
I'm looking at next year's potential, the first-time eligible players. There's some good players coming up for next year that you might have first-year inductees next year.
Yeah.
Right? Like Adrian Peterson.
Okay.
I would imagine he'd be first year.
He was pretty good.
Rob Gronkowski, arguably the greatest tight end that's ever played.
Gronk.
Richard Sherman, Ben Roethlisberger. Even Antonio Brown, who I know has had so many off-the-field issues and even wasn't the greatest teammate later in his career. So that's probably going to hold him back for a little bit. But statistically, was one of the better wide receivers of his generation. So it might be challenging for some of these guys.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
Well, let me figure it out. Belichick and Kraft didn't get in.
Yeah.
I mean, this story goes on to say, Craig, not Mark Craig, but Roger Craig, was the only person to come out of the combined group of 5 from the senior players, Craig, L.C. Greenwood, and Ken Anderson, Coach Bill Belichick, and contributor Robert Kraft. So Roger Craig got in, but Bill Belichick didn't. Now, Belichick is going to get in eventually, right? Bill Belichick. Now, there are people, in reading the story earlier, I saw a story where there were quotes from a couple of voters. One guy said, Spygate was definitely, some people blow off Spygate. Other people say, no, that's important to the story, So, I don't know.
The problem is they won so many of them. Can you attribute all of them to Spygate and all of them to Deflategate?
Well, that's the other thing. That's the other thing. And so, I don't know if Kevin Williams, I just, with 5-time, first team All-Pro is you would think that's enough to get you in, but maybe someday. But he says it'll be tougher next year. And I think it's the reason you just mentioned. There'll be so many people on there, can only vote for so many. The NFL kind of limits it a little bit, right? Isn't it like they have 5 every year, or 6, or is it a 10 semi? I don't know how they. It just seems like it's this. It's pretty. It
seems like they get 5 or 6 every year.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dried though, and with that many people, like you say, eligible with all the numbers you mentioned. Who knows?
There's probably like a long time stolen take from Corey Cove on the power trip.
Okay.
But do you think because his name is Kevin Williams, just kind of a boring, plain name? Like Corey's bit is always like, what if we name him Sebastian Thunderbucket, right? Would people know more about him as a player and think he's a better player because of his name?
If his name was Sebastian Thunderbucket, I think he'd be eligible for the WWE Hall of Fame. That's what I think. There could be something to that. We'll take a break. We'll come back. That's Peek at the Purple, brought to you by Affordable Electric. All of your electrical needs, affordable-electric.com. A little distat loud on the other side of the break. Common Man program on the Fan.
Never miss your chance to know what the latest sports news is in town. Chances to win tickets and knowing what's going on with all of our favorite KFAN shows.
Well, how can I do that?
Follow KFAN 1003 on all of our social channels like Instagram, TikTok, and X Now. Stay connected and follow the sports leader, KFAN. Why do I feel like you're not going to do that?
I see all and I know all. It's the esoterical show. Someone texted booth at KFAN.com and said, no love for hometown kid Larry Fitzgerald that's Larry Fitzgerald Jr., by the way. Let's get it straight. It's Larry Fitzgerald Jr. Being a first ballot Hall of Famer, Mauer makes the Hall of Fame. You dedicate your whole show to it. You must not have been you must have me confused with another talk show host. We mentioned Mauer, but I've already told you I don't put any stock into Halls of Fame. I think they're preposterous. And we mentioned it. I said Breeze made it. Didn't I say Larry Fitzgerald Jr.?
Yeah, you did.
Before I said his name. What do you want me to say? Deserving, if you believe in Hall of Fames, absolutely.
We're supposed to go through his entire career?
Yeah, he good for him. He made it, and he deservedly. He's in the time I've watched pro football, he's top 10 wide receiver for sure, maybe even better. Unfortunately, he had to play with such a terrible team in a terrible city with terrible fans in a terrible stadium because he never played in a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, he did.
When that Cardinal, was he part of that team?
Yeah. They lost to Pittsburgh.
I didn't realize he was part of that team. So he played in a big game and never won a ring. So, congratulations. This is a Dateline Ann Arbor, Michigan, Tennessee. This is college basketball. Namari Burnett scored a career-high 31 points, leading number 2 Michigan to a 110-69 win over Penn State. The Wolverines have won 7 straight to set a school record with a 21-1 overall record. They are 11-1 in the Big Ten, tied atop the conference with number 5 Illinois. Tennessee, I came up with a nickname for this Michigan team. Fab Five.
Oh, I love it.
Isn't that cool? Oh my gosh. It just hit me last night as I was reading it because they have a great starting 5. Fab Five. Because, everything has to have alliteration. Fab Five. I thought you'd like it.
I know we're not exactly fabulous and we're not quite like the Michigan from the early 90s, but
right.
The Gophers men basically only play 5 players. So might as well just call them the Fab Five. They don't go to 6 or 7 or 8.
Yeah. We're the only 5 we've got. That's terrible. Why would I say something like that? No, but yeah, you're right.
Take 5?
Yeah, take 5. Maybe they should. A couple of other things I know I found of interest. This is a CBS Sports story. And John Breach writes it, I'm going to have to take his word for it. I find this hard to believe. Super Bowl's most expensive ticket, $30,000.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's not a real price, right? I mean, just because you ask that doesn't mean you're going to get. No one's paying $30,000 to sit in the stands to watch a big game. Who would be?
Are you able to stand next to head coach Mike Vrabel while the game's going on?
I don't even care how much money you have. Because here's the deal. If you've got that kind of money, then I think you'd rather like be in a suite. Why do you want? But that's the claim. It says, Dateline, Santa Clara, California. As everyone knows, it's not cheap to attend a big game. If you want to attend this year's game between the Seahawks and the Patriots, it's going to cost you at least $4,600, which is currently the going rate for the. Now, this is a couple days old now. Is the going rate for the cheapest ticket on the secondary market? If you're hoping to get a ticket at face value, you should probably just give up now because that's not going to happen. As for Wednesday, this was Wednesday. The best seat on StubHub, row 1 of section C114 behind Seattle's bench, would cost you $30,750.
You've got to be kidding me.
Only 2 left. That's what it says. It says section 114, C114, row 1, 2 tickets together, front row of section, clear view. They were asking $49,485, now to $30,751. And just so you know, Tennessee, so you can breathe a sigh of relief, that does include the fees. So you don't have to worry about paying extra for the fees. Just so you know, it's not going to jump up from that. No one's going to buy that ticket.
I can't believe it went down from $49,000. I can't believe they didn't get what they asked for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and that's it. You know what? Maybe we should IHOP StubHub right now and look for those tickets. I guarantee you they're still available, and they're selling for about $19,000 right now. I just don't even understand why anybody, other than you just want to tell people you paid that much, and I would just look at you and say, well, there's a sucker born every minute. What do you... and I know it's well documented. Look, I'm a wet blanket. I don't like going to games. I like going to Lions versus Vikings in the iHeart Suite with Deuce. It's fun. Me and Deuce, and we have a good time. Brought my wife and baby brother Peter this past year. We enjoyed it. It's okay. Go to the big. I mean, are you serious? Pay that kind of money to go to that game? You know where I'd rather watch the game, Tennessee? I'd rather go to a big Super Bowl party, a very exclusive one. They had 3 levels, an upstairs, a main level, and a basement. And then, you have assigned seating so that you know where you're supposed to sit. And if you're really into the game, you're up on the 3rd level. And then you have an assigned seat, and there's no talking during the game. You can't say a word because you're the ones that are really into the game. Then if you're on that main level, you kind of just, you don't really care. You watch a little bit. And then if you're in the basement, I think you're just drinking and watching the commercials. Those are the 3. And I would love to go to a party like that. That's how I like watching the Super Bowl. That not talking during the Super Bowl reminds me of when I was in Adams. What, did you find a price on that ticket? Is it still available?
I'm just on SeatGeek's website right now looking at all the tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything is... I mean, just the section alone, I don't know if I saw 30,000, but I did see up to 26. Like right now, I see one for row 9, 26,798.
Oh, good luck getting that. I think it was either Ben Franklin or W.C. Fields said, "There's a sucker born every minute." In all honesty, even those of you who like football and like being at games, give me a break. It's so much better being at your house and your couch.
Oh gosh, yes.
Your wife's making, if your wife can rattle the pots and pans like me, she's making up some nice something to eat, bathrooms right there, the whole thing. It's just preposterous. But I guess, I wonder what the highest price actually is being paid for a Super Bowl, because there's no, like I say, I know there are people that can afford that. I'm not suggesting there isn't. But is there anybody that would want to pay that to be at the game? I just don't understand why. I guess if you're really into it and you like being at happenings. I mean, think about this, Tennessee. Let's say I bought that ticket for $30,751, right? Guess what my checking account would be down to then? About $35,000. But it's it's down to 65 right now. So it'd be down to.
So the most expensive I'm seeing is $26,798.
Yeah.
But
does it say what section and stuff? Is this guy? Is it? Can you find this exact seat that was the most expensive?
So I'm only looking for seats that are available.
Oh, okay.
Maybe someone bought them.
Is section C114 available, row 1?
Yes, the one I was seeing was in 115.
Ah.
I don't see anything available in row 1 of 114.
So somebody bought them. Somebody snapped them up, maybe for $30,000. You could buy a brand new car. Think of what you could buy with $30,000.
You could feed the homeless in your town.
Well, you could, yeah. But there you go. Good for them. So anyway, let's see if man, no wonder Tice wanted to.
Now it makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Because that's the rumor, right? I mean, it's not even a rumor; it was true.
Oh
right?
yeah, he was caught for it.
Yeah, he was caught for it. Tice went around the locker room, strong-armed Super Bowl tickets from his players, and then tried to sell them on the. Can't even make it up. And then I saw this story, Tennessee. I don't even know why this list came out. Because it's the only position I've seen a list for. Again, it's CBS Sports List Radio, Lazy Radio. They're now ranking here at the end of the season. I think it's just because it's Super Bowl. Because the list of the best receivers of 2025. They have a list of 15. They rank them. You ready for the list?
Best receivers of 2025?
Yes. And maybe they just, let's see if it's,
Does that count tight ends?
2025 wide receiver rankings. Wide receiver rankings. Number 15 is Drake London. Number 14 is Jalen Waddle. Number 13, T. Higgins. Number 12, A.J. Brown. Number 11, Chris Olave. Number 10 is Malik Neighbors.
He barely played.
Number 9, Devontae Adams. Number 8, George Pickens. Number 7, Nico Collins. Number 6, C.D. Lamb.
I was going to say, at this point, Justin Jefferson ain't making the list.
Number 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Well, I don't think they are doing them by just what they're...
Oh, it's just overall.
I think.
Got it.
Because J.J. Jets is at number 4.
I thought it was going off of this
that's
past
what
season.
I thought, but Jets is at 4. It says the NFL's 2022 Offensive Player of the Year struggled by his standards in 2025 with career lows in receiving yards and receiving tutties. However, much of the blame for his production can be put at the feet of Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy, who ranked dead last in the NFL in completion percentage, touchdown to interception ratio, and passer rating. Yet, Jefferson still joined Hall of Famer Randy Moss and Tampa Bay Buccaneers Pro Bowler Mike Evans as the third player in NFL history with 6 consecutive seasons with 1,000 receiving yards to begin their career. He also ranks second all-time in career receiving yards per game after helping Seahawks quarterback Sammy Darnold get his career back on track in Minnesota in 2024. Perhaps he can do the same for McCarthy in 2026. Don't hold your breath. Smith Najigba's at number 3. Number 2 is Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
And number 1 is Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Now, I guess this is just saying this is what they feel are the best wide receivers in pro football.
Sure.
I guess because it couldn't be off production because I don't think Jefferson would be quite that high in the list. And if you were doing the old, you got to draft a team, right? And you could take, one guy from every position, right? No matter who it was to build your team. Would you take Jamar Chase as your wide receiver?
Yes.
You would? Okay.
I would take him number 1. Puka Nacua might be right there.
Right.
And he seems to have some health issues at times, but he's a stud.
So you think Jefferson at 4 is about right then? Because it's hard to argue with Puka Nacua's productivity, especially this year. Wasn't he just off the charts?
And so was Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, right.
I think he was named Offensive Player of the Year last night at the NFL Honors.
Yeah. And then they got Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 5. I think that's about right.
I think it's about right.
I think you and I both think very highly of him. But yeah, so it's interesting to see where they're ranking these guys. I also was doing the review of looking at the different websites, grading the trades, right, with the NBA trade deadline come and gone, and to a website, to a media member, Wolves got a thumbs up in getting the kid from Chicago, and you do have to hand it to Conley, since he's come aboard. Team has been to 2 Western Conference Finals. He made the trade for Gobert, which I do think was, at the time, as we talked about, it seemed pretty risky to trade that many draft picks, and I think even a couple of players just to get a guy. I mean, he was the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, or 3-time at the time, or whatever he was. But that's still, you're giving up a lot to get him. But it changed the fortunes of this team, along with some other moves as well. But the team got to the Western Conference Finals, and they trade Big Meow, and he transforms into Bodega Cat, and we get Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, and that works out for us. We get back to the Western Conference Finals again. In this move, and we talked about this yesterday, while the blockbuster trade sounds great and it's fun, if we would have been able to get Antetokounmpo, or even to a lesser extent James Harden, though I just don't know if it's nice to have a guy that can fill it up. We got some guys that can fill up the basket already. Everything they say about the Chicago kid is this has been his best year. He's taken another step, and he plays defense. And it's just like, and they needed a bench player, a guy that could come off the bench and score points. And he's 45% from the field. Is that on his 3-pointer or just the field? I think maybe it's 3
threes.
Yeah. And he's averaging 15 points a game, a career high. So, I mean, he checks those boxes that you're looking for. A guy that can come off the bench and provide offensive spark. 15 points. If he's averaging 15 points a game, and if he can do that coming off the bench with the Wolves, that will go a long way in helping this team advance through the playoffs again. But then, you got to get past that next step. We've got to the door. We knocked on the door. Now we got to try to kick it in. But and he was able to do it. And the way all the pieces, what looks like we're going to get Mike Conley back, right?
Yes.
And, I don't think that's a game changer, but, savvy veteran, players like him, his teammates love him.
Like him a lot better at the cheap price.
Yeah, at the cheap price. And you're not looking for him to give you, 40 minutes. You're giving, 8, 10, 12. There was a quote from him I read leading up to the trade deadline where he said, it has been, I'm pretty sure I read this. He said it was, it's kind of an adjustment because he's never been a guy that comes off the bench, right? He's always been a starter. And he said it has been an adjustment in trying to figure out how you get prepared for that day. And I go back to the Julius Randle story that I've alluded to on a number of occasions that the Fish Wrap West Side did about how he now, for him to feel comfortable with getting ready for a game, he gets there 4 hours ahead of time. And he loosens up when in an almost empty arena, right? That's just what makes him better. And so Conley apparently hasn't had an easier time adjusting from being a guy that's starting point guard, playing the entire game or most of it, because he's just at his athlete advanced age. I mean, he's a young man, but as an athlete, he's up there in years. But yeah, so most of the moves he's made, the Conley character have worked out. Have worked out.
I do want to say both Tim Connolly and Bill Guerin have teams that are right. The Wolves have gone to the Western Conference Finals 2 years in a row. The Wild seem to be trending in the right direction. So both are doing great, but they've also both been gifted good players from previous regimes, right? Like Anthony Edwards was not a Tim Connolly draft pick.
That's right.
And, the Wolves have bottomed out. And Tim Connolly was gifted Anthony Edwards to the point where guys like Giannis want to come play here because Anthony Edwards, right? And then for the Wild, Chuck Fletcher was the one who drafted Kirill Kaprizov.
That's right.
Paul Fenton was the one who drafted Matt Boldy.
That's right.
Paul Fenton was the one who got Matt Zuccarello in free agency.
Sounds like you're calling for Bill Guerin's head.
Spurgeon and Brodeen were drafted by Chuck Fletcher. So in no way, shape, or form am I saying Connolly and Bill Guerin don't deserve any accolades because they're not screwing it up and they're doing good what they have, but
no, you're right.
They both were gifted star players that were not of their own doing.
What happened to the brilliant button?
Brilliant!
There you go. Oh, there it is, up in the left-hand corner. And I lost another button bar thing because I got this back to back now. I don't know where.
You've got to be kidding me!
On the button bar, but there's two of them on my Common Man page too. Yeah, you're right. No, that's a very good point. Was Denver? Wasn't Joker like the 40th pick overall?
Yeah, I think you drafted him.
Did he draft him?
Yeah, I think he did.
Because
yes.
I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. So we're in a good spot here. We have a break in hockey for the Olympics. When is the NBA All-Star game? Did they do that?
Do you want
yet?
to watch it?
No, I just wonder. That's kind of the unofficial. I mean, I know it's more like the 2/3 point of the season, but that's kind of that official.
Well, they're doing a new format this year.
Yeah.
February 15th.
Yeah,
so 9 days from now.
Yeah, so it's coming up pretty quick.
They've got two American teams, the Stars and the Stripes, and then they have the World team.
So both the NBA, by the time they get done with that All-Star break and start playing again, that'll be at the same time. Hockey's starting again, right? Close.
It'll be longer for hockey.
A little longer for
NBA
hockey.
will start back up before hockey does.
Yeah, but it'll be close, right? Within a week of each other. So there you go. We'll be, and you know what? I guess the reason I bring it up, regardless if it's a day or a week or 2 weeks, is just for the first time, it's in a long time, if ever, have the Wolves or the Wild both at the same time. Because let's face it, the Wild really never have had a team. You could make the argument this is the best team they've ever had, right?
It's most talented.
Yeah, most
talented.
It's not even
close.
Right, it's not even close. So, and then the Wolves, I know we had the 04 one, but with the back-to-back NBA finals and where we are, right, or conference finals, where we are now, this is the first time in this town we've had the two winter teams both this good with this much promise. So it does make a sports spectating in town more interesting because not only do you have one team playing, we got two, so it should make it much more fun.
We're coming.
I know one of the questions you often ask is, during 5-3-4, we do it, 3 or 4 times a year. What you do, which team do you think has the best chance to win it all? I would really say it's almost a coin flip between the Wild and I don't think the Vikings are very close. It could change, depending on the quarterback situation. If the kid gets better or they get somebody else. Baseball, let's face it, I saw a note. The Tigers' payroll for their starting staff is only like $5 million less
than our entire team.
The entire team. So the Twins aren't going to do it. I don't think the Vikings anytime soon. But I think it could be either the basketball or the hockey for some reason. Because I think the West is so hard to get out of in basketball. I think maybe the Wild would be my pick for the team with maybe the best opportunity to get to that to get to their respective sports finals. But we'll see. When we come back, Lil B will join us. Feminine Touch the program, and then program passes at 1:30. Who do we have again? Remind me who's coming up at 1:30?
Audra Martin and Alexis Pearson.
Very good. That's
you and all the ladies today.
Yes, very much so. The Radio Romeo. That's coming up at 1:30 right here on The Fan.